1,500 points of Craftworld Eldar versus Blood Angels. This is a special edition because we're going to do the open war deck, but we're going to have Matt, who has a beard, and Nate, who has a beard, and they're going to co-general the Blood Angels, my Blood Angels, mind you, against my Craftworld Eldar. Now, I have to tell you, Matt and Nate, neither of them have ever played Blood Angels. They're playing my army against me. So we're putting both of them together, but I needed to even the odds a little bit with just me with a new Codex against them. So for this special edition, I grew a beard as well. So this is going to be the Battle of the Beards. We're playing the open war deck. The deployment is two corners with the center is a 9-inch diameter cutout. I'm going to start with the twist card first, and the twist card states many paths to victory, meaning you pull two objective cards and both are in play. The first objective card that we pulled was Invasion. And Invasion is unique where it says that you place a single objective in your deployment zone and your opponent places a single objective in their deployment zone. And then if at any point in the battle you control both objectives, then the game is over. Now, since we're doing many paths to victory and we have that, we have another card in play, which is the Comet. At the beginning of the third turn, you roll, and randomly a Comet drops down with a single objective, and at the end of the fifth battle round, whoever scores that wins. Now, what we've done to modify the invasion rules is simply put, if before turn 3, you score both objective markers, you win the game. But after that, then it's up for grabs. So if you score both objective markers and the Comet is still in play, we have to wait until the end of the fifth battle round to see if it's a draw. So this should be really entertaining because neither of them necessarily, they've played against Blood Angels a bunch, but they're going to be generaling them this time, co-generaling them this time. So we'll see what their teamwork is like, and we'll see what Index Blood Angels versus Codex, brand new Codex, Craftworld Eldar is. I'm excited. Enjoy. An Imperial defense line overlooks this ruined city. The frost is settling on the ruins, and the Eldar and the Blood Angels are dug into their trench lines. There's been bitter fighting from street to street, doorway to doorway, through this Imperial city as the Eldar and the Blood Angels, inch by inch, try and gain ground and territory on each other's positions. Battle lines have been drawn and trenches have been dug in as they overlook the city square, overlooking a relic of an Imperial past. Craftworld Ulthwe, with Eldrad leading the charge. Eldrad has declared that the cathedral with the old hulk of a Baneblade crashed into it is the center point of the Blood Angels defense line, and that is what the Craftworld is pushing to achieve and seize that ground while maintaining their own. With the support of a Librarian and Terminator armor is leading their charge, and a Librarian Dreadnought walking onto the field, the Blood Angels have declared that the bastion held currently by the Eldar is their point that they need to break through the lines. They need to control their cathedral and push through and achieve that bastion. This frozen ground will soon be awoken with the sounds of tank treads and massive explosions as Craftworld Eldar and Blood Angels meet in the center square. 1,500 points of Craftworld Ulthwe. Our first HQ is Eldrad. He's our warlord, and of course he is taking the Ulthwe Warlord trait, which is every battle round he can roll a die, and on a 6 we earn a command point. Our second HQ is a Farseer. He's been upgraded with a Singing Spear. This is a Vanguard detachment, so there's 3 elites choices in this list. They're all Wraithguard. The first is a set of 5 Wraithguard with D-sides. They'll be riding in a Wave Serpent. The second is 5-man Wraithguard with Wraith Cannons, and the last is a 5 Wraith Blades with Ghost Axes and Shields. The fast attack is Wind Riders. They have Shuriken Cannons. The Wave Serpent itself is equipped with twin bright lances and a shuriken cannon. It also has crystal targeting matrix on it. The two heavy supports in the list are a Wraith Lord and a Fire Prism. The Wraith Lord has a Bright Lance, Eldari Missile Launcher, Ghost Glaive, and Shuriken Catapults on his wrists. And the Fire Prism has a Shuriken Cannon mounted underneath and Crystal Targeting Matrix. And that brings us to 1,500 points of Craftworld Ulthwe. 1,500 points of Blood Angels. This is a Vanguard detachment taking 3 Elites choices. The HQ choice is a Librarian and Terminator armor. He has a Force Axe and a Stormbolter. The second HQ choice is a Librarian Dreadnought. He has a Melt-A-Gun and of course his Force Halberd. The first Elite's choice is a 5-man Terminator squad with 3 Lightning Claws, including on the Sergeant, and then 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields. The second Elite's choice is a 5-man Sanguinary Guard. All of them, except for one, have the Glaive and Carmine and Plasma Pistol, and the 5th one has Power Fist and Plasma Pistol. The banner does not count. Just ignore the banner. The third Elite's choice is a Relic Contemptor Dreadnought. He has twin carries assault cannons. The first fast attack, and only fast attack choice, is a Melt-A-Side squad. That's 5 Assault Marines with 2 Melt-A-Guns. For heavy support, we have a Bale Predator with twin assault cannons and heavy bolter sponsons, and also a Storm Bolter. And the last heavy support choice is a Predator tank with sponsons, or las cannons, and a Predator autocannon, as well as a Storm Bolter. That's 4 command points and 1,500 points of Blood Angels. After deployment, this is what we have. I deployed the Eldar down into my corner here, and I placed my objective right there. So in between everything, I kind of spaced out the Wraith Blades to try and prevent deep strike, and I have the Wave Serpent, Wraith Blades, Wind Riders, and then back behind the trench line I have my Fire Prism and the Wraith Lord guarding that objective. I burned a command point to place the Wraith Guard with the Wraith Cannons in the webway so they can deep strike in. And inside my Wave Serpent here is the Farseer with the Wraith Guard with Wraith, or the D-sides. And all the way over onto the Blood Angels deployment, Matt put the Librarian here, near the garden. The Bale Predator, looking down the road. The Predator tank also looking down the road. And if you look, I think they get a pretty good line of sight on the Wave Serpent and the Wraith Guard. His objective is right here at the front of the cathedral, just sitting there. Apparently he, I don't know, was waiting for the apocalypse, pulled out a beach chair, and decided this is a good place to lounge.
Exactly.
And the gardener is set up here, not near the garden, but over on this flank here, looking down this corridor. So coming back, well, turn 1 Eldar, because I won the roll-off, but Matt, would you like to seize?
I would.
Alright, grab a die.
See if I can actually roll. 2.
That's not gonna do it.
No, it is not.
Turn 1 Eldar. Not much moved. The Fire Prism stayed still. The Wraith Lord also stayed put. The Wraith Blades moved up just a little bit and spread out, trying to stop deep strike. Eldred also shuffled up. The Wind Riders shuffled over, and the Wave Serpent stayed still. That's really it. We're because for this invasion, he's going to deep strike down. If he controls that, if he controls my objective here, then that's the end of the game. So I've got to at least hold that off until there's another objective on the board. Eldred he really couldn't do anything, so he cast Guide on the Fire Prism, which, wow. And that was it. I didn't move the Wave Serpent to be in Bright Lance range because I'm really smart. And I'm a little afraid of the Deep Strike going on over here, so I'm just trying to control this corner because of the objective. But he deployed out of range, and I didn't want to move into range. Fire Prism was in range, Eldar and missile launcher range there, and he hit or no, he didn't. He hit him and missed and didn't wound, and the Fire Prism shot over. Ended up getting 5 shots with Guide for the rerolls to hit, and then I only wounded with 1
on a 4.
On a 4.
The rest were 2s and 1s.
And you failed to save it with your 5-up invul on him, and I got snuck 2 damage through. So he's down to 10 because he starts off with 12 wounds as a Relic Contemptor. But that is it. That is probably the most lackluster Eldar Psychic and Shooting phase ever in the game. But here we go. Here's the counterpunch. Blood Angels, turn 1. We have the Gardener who shifted over. Also, I want to make note that we did remember to put the teleport beacon down, and you put it right here. And again, I'm going to reiterate, Matt and Nate are generally my Blood Angels, which they've played against many times but never played themselves. So give them a little bit of courtesy here, because I'm not helping them out at all.
They've killed me enough, I should know what they do.
Yep. Shuffled the Librarian Dreadnought up here. Actually, you ran him, didn't you? Yep. And you ran a solid 1 inch.
A solid 1 inch.
The Bale Predator is moving down the corridor. The Predator tank moved up. And that is it. You didn't deep strike anything in, is that correct?
That is correct.
The Librarian here casts Shield of Sanguinius on the Bale Predator, so that Bale Predator now has a 4 pinball save. The Predator shot his Heavy Bolters, that was the only thing in range. Shot here, did 1 damage, but I made a save with the Serpent Shield. And shot with the last cannons, both missed on the Wave Serpent. And shot with his Predator autocannon.
Yep.
And he hit with, God, what did he hit with? 2?
Heavy 2. Or I hit with 1.
Hit with 1, and whatever it was, I saved. Or you wounded with 1.
I wounded with 1.
I saved that as well with him on a 3-up, so he's doing all right. And that is it for shooting, right?
Yeah.
Wow, pretty lackluster. Turn 2 is going to get serious. Wave Serpent stayed put. The Wraith Blades shuffled up into here. Eldred shuffled with them. Stayed put. Stayed put on his perch. They slid over, still denying now, pretty much still denying that Deep Strike. And then way over here from burning that command point first turn, dropping them in right in the corner of the board because I'm exactly 9 from the Gardener and 9 from this Predator. And they're just looking at this going, oh, what do I shoot? Eldred cast Guide on him, which mattered because he took the Predator tank down to, gosh, he took him down to 5 wounds. He took Bright Lances here, put a hurt on the Bale Predator. He shot with his Eldar missile launcher, was the only thing in range, and he missed on a 1. But when we come over here, these guys, I split fire, I put 3 shots into the Relic Contemptor, and I put 2 shots into the Predator tank. With their Strength 10 minus 4 AP, they hit what used to be a Predator, and they hit him. They took him down to 4 wounds, the Relic Contemptor. They killed the Predator. He exploded on a 6, did D3 mortal wounds to him, and D3 mortal wounds to him, and actually he rolled another 3. Actually rolled a 6, didn't you? Or 5. And it took another 3 mortal wounds off him, so it brought him down to 1 wound left. So these guys are sitting here looking at a ton of firepower, but they are also looking at a bonfire that they created. So that was what we've seen. I mean, a slow turn 1 for Eldar. We've ended up seeing a pretty big turn 2 for Eldar. So To answer the Wraith Guard, deep striking in the back line, the Sanguinary Guard have arrived. And the Gardener has stayed put. The Librarian Dreadnought has moved back towards this threat. The Bale Predator has also shifted over. He's really shifted to just avoid any of the Eldar shooting him from over there because he's down to 5 wounds. Also focusing on them because, again, that objective at this point in turn 2 is still the most important. And coming way over here, the rest of Blood Angels are on the board. The Warlord is down, the Assault Terminators are down, and the Assault Squad is down as well. And all of them are looking at the Wraith Lord and the Fire Prism with bad intentions. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
The lamenters are lamenting.
They are so sad. I think it's because they got picked to be mustard.
Yeah.
Who wants to be that condiment?
Nobody.
The Librarian Dreadnought cast Shield of Sanguinius. And the Sanguinary Guard got it off, so they have a 4-up invul. And he cast Smite over on the Wraith Guard and got 1 damage. However, saved it with the Ulthwe save on 6-up, so that was a little sad. Way over here, this Librarian, he had Blood Boil, couldn't cast it because he is Toughness 8. But then he cast Smite and actually took 2 wounds off him. I failed my Ulthwe saves there.
Instead, he cast Blood Boil on the jet bikes and killed one.
Oh yeah, thank you. He did cast Blood Boil on the jet bikes instead. That was his main target, but cast there and killed one. Yay. Over here, shooting. We shot a Meltagun from him into the Wraith Guard. We shot the Plasmas into the Wraith Guard. We shot the Contemptor into the Wraith Guard, who even on 1 wound left still hits on 4s, which is hilarious. And we shot the Bale Predator into the Wraith Guard, and we are killed 2 and took 2 wounds off of 1 guy. I made a handful of Ulthwe saves, but most of it just failed to wound because of the toughness 6. So I've got 3 left sitting in the backfield here. And way over here, Melticide is making an appearance in 8th edition doing the same thing, which is shooting Meltaguns
And failing.
and missing. But the bolt pistols took a wound. That's amazing. And the Stormbolter from the Librarian shot up as well, did nothing. So we took a wound off of him with bolt pistols, but Melta's just warming up.
Yeah.
They're just warming up. So, turn 2, Blood Angels Assault. Everything failed the charge.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad. And what's even more sad is, again, nothing happened, but I shot with the Bright Lance on Overwatch from the Wraith Lord down on the Terminators. Hit, wounded. He put it on a Thunderhammer Storm Shield and rolled a 2.
He's pink mist.
And then pink mist right in the Warlord's face. Pink mist. You know, that's a lot of foreboding there because that's a mean charge coming at them.
Why the lamenters are lamenting.
They're lamenting again. Turn 3, the objective, the Comet, arrived. We rolled. I won the roll off. And then it says roll a die, and whatever number that is, it falls into whatever quadrant. So it could fall into any of the quadrants or center of the board. And where did it fall? But in the Blood Angels deployment zone. That is representing our Comet right there. So I've got 3 guys here and everything else in my deployment zone. And I move 5 inches with all these wraiths. So turn 3, a little bit of an uphill battle. But that's the Comet. Shuffled them up, and that was important because there used to be a Terminator teleport homer here, and they became within 9 of it and deleted that, which was important because they're all the way over here. And now that the Comet is right there and their objective is right there, I've deleted that so they're hamstrung over on that side. Well, maybe not hamstrung, just now attacking something else. Move the Wind Riders up to start being able to shoot at the Sanguinary Guard. I move my Wraith Lord down to take on the Terminators. We've all seen how that's gone. The Fire Prism stayed put. Eldrad and the Wraith Blades moved up to try and support this flank so I don't lose all my heavy support to Blood Angels today. And the Wave Serpent moved over 16 inches to try and start moving towards the Comet. And that is it for Eldar movement. Eldrad's the only Psyker on the field, so Eldrad casts Smite. The Librarian he cast it on the Assault Terminators. The Librarian attempted to deny, failed, and killed. He killed a guy. No, he put
3 wounds on a guy.
3 wounds on, so he killed a guy and a half. Then he cast Executioner, and Executioner does its Smite, and then if it kills a guy, you get another D3 mortal wounds. That happened. Left a single Terminator left with a Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Then this guy shot his Bright Lance and Shuriken Catapults into the Terminator, failed to kill him. He shot the Eldari Missile Launcher into the Assault Marines, killed 1. We did the Disperse shot on that. And he shot his, the Fire Prism shot into the last Thunderhammer Terminator that was here with his Disperse shot and killed him. He was also putting a Shuriken Cannon into that. I don't know why he did that, so it wasted, and he missed the shots on that. So, deleted that squad off with just, again, this Eldar overwhelming firepower that they can muster, and the psychic powers from Eldrad, that Executioner,
are nasty.
He can just delete a squad just alone right there. So, coming back in, the Bright Lance is here, shot down all the way over to where our Relic Contemptor was, and killed him off. He did not explode, which was really good for the Sanguinary Guard. And I shot with my Wraith Cannons into the Sanguinary Guard here, and they did. Let's see. I shot 3 times. I only wounded once, and they made their Shield of Sanguinius Invul of a 4-up against the Wraith Cannon, so I didn't kill anybody there. So coming back, Eldar, believe it or not, charges. The Wraith Guard attempted to charge the Sanguinary Guard, but rolled a 3 and failed. And they shot Overwatch, also failed.
Yep.
And way over here, there was a Wraith Lord.
Yeah.
He made it into Assault. He put 3 wounds on the Librarian. I was feeling pretty awesome about that. And then somehow you hit with all 3 attacks. You wounded with all 3 attacks. I failed to save all 3 attacks. You made 9 wounds on him, and I failed all Ulthwe saves on him. I didn't even make a single Ulthwe save of 9, and he's gone. The Melticide squad has moved up to. This may be the longest they've ever survived in a game.
They just die.
Because they normally just die, but they've been buffed by Terminators that needed to die first. Librarian, after his heroic slaying of the Wraith Lord, is a little cocky. He's moving up and taking out my entire back line. Coming way over here, because that's it. He hasn't moved, right?
No.
He shouldn't. He has shuffled up, right? Yep. To be within charge range of these guys.
And within 12 inches.
I'm actually so shocked that these guys are still in the game.
They should have died last turn and didn't.
Right, and the Sanguinary Guard stayed put as well. So that is it for Blood Angels movement. Librarian Dreadnought casts Smite here and put 2 wounds, killing a Wraith Guard and putting 1 wound on him. Everybody else shooting into them did what? We just 1 more wound, right?
Yep. Bunch of hits, bunch of wounds, but only 1 got through.
Yep, only 1 got through, and it really wasn't a lot of Ulthwe saves. I think I made 1 Ulthwe save. It was just the fact that they're toughness 6.
Just dice rolls and toughness 6.
And he left the Sanguinary Guard here because Wind Riders are doing something. They're denying you. Because if you move them into assault, the Wind Riders could move up and the game would be mine. Wind Riders. For the win. Yay. The Wave Serpent left combat. Weird, I know. But jumped over the trench line and sat here with his 3 wounds left. Eldrad shifted towards their objective to look at the 3 Assault Marines left and the Librarian. The Wraith Blades. I'm sorry, Hero.
He is a hero.
Librarian. From killing the Wraith Lord. The Wraith Blades moved towards the Assault Marines. And the Wave Serpent moved up, and he's actually an inch forward, so he's actually not securing this objective, but we didn't want wobbly model, so we just kind of moved him forward. And so he's 4 inches out of that objective, and this Wraith Lord just stayed put, and the Wind Riders moved up 16 to start contesting this and putting some shots on the Sanguinary Guard. That is it. Eldrad cast Smite and did D3 wounds on the Assault Squad, and that killed all of them. So all 3 of those from the Assault Squad are dead. Eldrad doing some serious warp channeling.
He was out of range to do it on the Librarian.
No shoot. Oh yeah, and he was out of range to do Executioner on the Librarian by an inch. And this guy moves, so no shooting. They don't have shooting and haven't done anything this game. The Bright Lances shot sideways into him. Didn't hit. The Shuriken Cannon shot over here. 1 hit, but they made it with their 2-up, or 1 wound, they made it with their 2-up save. And this guy shot into the Librarian and did a, actually took 2 wounds off him. With his Wraith Cannon, still in the game, which I'm surprised about. And one of these guys shot, did nothing, the other one shot and took a wound off one of the Sanguinary Guard. Not much happened in turn 4 movement. The Librarian moved up over here, and the Librarian Dreadnought shuffled towards him. Everything else stayed put. The heroic Librarian, he cast Smite on these guys, but Eldrad, being Eldrad, blocked it.
Yep.
But Eldrad also not being far-seeing, missed the fact that he was going to cast Blood Boil on him because it doesn't have to be the closest model. Cast Blood Boil. I attempted to deny the Witch. Failed because you rolled a 9 and I rolled garbage.
Not a 9.
And
put 3 on him.
You put 3 on him. Mortal wounds, and with his Ghost Helm, he made 2 of his saves, putting 1 wound on him. Pretty amazing. Still, Eldrad, super durable. And way over here, you cast Smite on him.
Which you blocked.
I blocked with an Ulthwe save, right?
Yep, Ulthwe save, 2 6s on your
Ulthwe save. It was 2 6s.
On the Ulthwe save.
And then you failed the Shield of Sanguinius on him. You shot Melta into him, rolled a 2, failed. Weird. And all of the plasmas then shot the Wind Riders over here, killed them off, actually with 4 wounds, which is what you needed to kill the last 2 Wind Riders. And the Bale Predator shot in and put a wound that I failed to save. So only 1 made here, which was the Librarian. He made it into the final Wraith Guard, which has been here forever, and killed him off with his Force Halberd and consolidated towards the Wave Serpent. Coming back, turn 5, Eldar. Stuff moved.
Yeah.
Not Eldrad, though. He stayed tight. The Wraith Blades moved up over this, coming at the Librarian. The Fire Prism moved forward, trying to get a shot down at the Bale Predator down there. And the Wave Serpent stayed put. And the Farseer finally came out with the D-Scythe Wraith Guard on the Comet objective, moving towards also the objective over here. So, turn 5, Eldar making the final push. Eldrad cast Guide on him, was denied by the Librarian. Heroic Librarian. He then cast Smite over here and actually took a wound off him. He's down to 1 wound left. I did not cast Executioner because I want to see how these guys do in close combat here. I know, I could have killed them off, but it's turn 5, there's really nothing left for them to do anyway. All the way over here where the actual game is being played out, they shot their D-sides into him, took 6 wounds off him, took him down to 2 wounds left, and that was 3 of them, and they split fire and put 2 shots into the sanguinary guard, taking 2 of them off. And the singing spear shot into him. It wounded, but he made his armor save. And that is it. The Bright Lances shot over here and failed again. And the Shuriken Cannon shot over here and put a wound on, but was saved with a 2-up armor save. So that is it. And now Eldar turn 5 assault. Complete miss in the shooting phase is that Fire Prism shot down and hit the Bale Predator. Took 6 wounds off. He only had 5 wounds left. He's gone, did not explode. Well, yeah, Wraith charged in and swung with their fists, and did they do
1 damage?
1 damage on this sanguinary guard right here. You swung back in return and did nothing with the Power Fist or the Glaive and Carmine. So they're stuck there, and way over here, holy cow. They made their assault charge. The Ghost Axes finally made it in. They put 3 wounds on the heroic Blood Angels Librarian, and what does he do? But he makes all 3 invols. But he was so busy ducking and jiving that he failed to hit wound back on them whatsoever. So nothing done here, and 1 wound done over there. That is it, turn 5. Librarian here cast Smite, but failed with a 3. Then he cast Blood Boil over on Eldrad, failed to deny the Witch, and actually took another wound off Eldrad. So Eldrad's down to 4 wounds. And way over here, this was an amazing psychic phase. The Librarian Dreadnought, which is now a cloud of smoke.
Yep, he moved up.
He moved up and shot his Melta, which failed, and he cast Psychic. Actually, he never got to shoot his Melta. He cast Psychic, Smite, and Perils, and then died to the Perils. And because when you die to the Perils of the Warp, everything within 6 inches takes D3 wounds, you lost a Sanguinary Guard. I lost a Wraith Guard and 1 wound on that Wraith Guard. He saved with his Ghost Helm. Just a massive detonation from the Warp here, right at the end of the game, right in this corner. So, and that's it for Owen. You shot with your Plasma Pistol, but failed over here. So, at the end of the battle, as the smoke settles, this Librarian... Oh my gosh. So, close combat, I swung back with the Wraith Blades, being 225 points with their Ghost Axes. He had to make a 5-up invul. Makes a 5-up invul. Yep. He's still in the game, swung back and killed off one of the Wraith Blades, so they're down to 4. That guy has never done that in 7th edition or 8th edition, but hey, what an amazing job he did this game. But not enough to pull it out in the end. The Farseer stayed tight, and this combat became a draw. Nothing happened here. You failed to wound with the Power Fist, and the Wraith Guard Fists also failed to do anything back. However, when the tally is done, the comment is secured by Eldar with 2 units. And also, definitely an Eldar victory. So, thanks, Matt.
That was good.
Thanks, Nate, as well. This is a dual generalship.
Yeah.
Thanks for fielding Blood Angels. Yeah. I'm excited for Beards to Touch.